So, like I posted yesterday on Instagram about the Tory Lane and Megan Thee Stallion situation, we kind of want to just weigh in our opinions, and I wanted to see if you guys liked it, to see if we should put out this content. So, we decided to give our opinions on it today. So, what's your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts is, first of all, I'm like under the weather, so that's why I'm like this, and she's all like that. My thoughts is like, honestly, being honest, like I really don't care. Like I didn't follow it or anything like that because I guess I was over it the day that it happened. But then last night when it started to make headlines again, I'm like, all right, well, let me look into what took place so I'll be able to kind of talk about it. So when I was kind of like going through Tory's statement, the thing that stood out to me was basically like he was saying, he was choosing the right words. And like he was saying like, there were some untruths. Like he would say some untruths instead of saying like, no, I didn't do it. Like he never came directly out and said he didn't do it. So then I'm like, okay, well, it's a possibility that you did. But then at the same time, I don't really like to weigh in on who did, who didn't, what's true and what's not, because we don't know the whole story. And like even Megan Thee Stallion herself, when I was kind of reading like some of her responses, even she said that she didn't give a full detail and she hasn't like publicly released full details of what took place because people are already like judging her like she's the victim, and she's like, people are skeptical, like, are you telling the truth, or either in some form blaming her for being the victim. And that is kind of sad because if it did happen, allegedly, that if what she's saying happened really did happen and she's a victim and she got shot and that's abuse. Unfortunately, the way that society is like you kind of get value placed on you based off of what your perception is, what you perceived is. So I think part of the reason why people are kind of like coming at her like, okay, what you do, or she probably lying, is unfortunately, and I'm not like validating it or saying it is right, but it's because of the persona that she portrays. When your persona is that, I'm street, I'm hood, who wanted what, unfortunately when something happens to you, people don't look at you like this is still a human being that deserves our empathy or whatever. They like, well, like you asked for it. It's just like, like think about like if somebody that's in a gang, if they happen to get killed in the streets, people don't really feel sorry for them. Like they'll be like, well, if he chose that life, like he was a gang member, and like devalue his life, but his life is just as important as anybody else's life. But they like place value, like they do it all the time. Lawyers do it, courts do it, or whatever. They always try to like devalue the victim or whatever to kind of like remove their credibility. Well, this is why, but it don't matter. At the end of the day, like I said, if it's true what took place, then it don't matter what type of life she portrays herself to be as an entertainer. That like she said, I think she even said, like, you got to separate Megan Pete from Megan Thee Stallion, and I'm still a person and I have feelings. So, but honestly, if I'm being honest, I'm more concerned with the fact that why this black man looking at facing almost 22 years for shooting somebody in the foot, while Breonna Taylor's murderers got off with nothing but wanton endangerment. That's what I'm more concerned about, to be honest. So, that's my 2 cents.
Well, that last part is very true. For me, regarding the Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez situation, my only thing with this is it's dragging. Like at this point, it's been going on for way too long. Let the court solve the situation. It's serious. The thing that's very annoying is, Tory, if you did, just say you did it. You do it. The fact that you keep doing these lives and things like that is becoming annoying. Like, if you did it, just say you did it. If you didn't, just keep quiet. Like, just let the courts prove what you did and what you didn't do at this point. Because you continue to speak on it, and it's like, okay, yeah, you are lying. We, black women, we are the least protected people here in America. I would definitely say that. But with this situation, the thing that's really like bothering me is I see black women tearing Megan down or tearing each other down during the situation. You can read the comments and you will see a black woman like, protect black women, and then you will see another black woman, oh, you lying too, sis, da da da. It's like, all that's not necessary. Why are we continuing to tear each other down? This is why nobody really stands and protects us, because we can't even protect ourselves or protect each other. And that is absolutely ridiculous. If she said that this happened, you as a black woman, either do what our parents used to say. If you can't say nothing nice, don't say nothing at all. Keep your mouth closed, keep it moving. It's not that necessary to sit there and drag another woman based upon the experience that she went through. And then when it comes out and let's just say this is true and that he did shoot her, then you're going to feel bad. Like, just keep your mouth closed if you're not going to say anything nice. Yes, I do feel like black women are the least protected women here in America. But with this situation, we got to do better as a people. Like, we have to do better. I get it. We don't know everything that happened in this situation. We don't. The people who know what's happened in this situation is literally Megan, Tory, the girl, Megan's best friend, and the bodyguard. They gonna be the only ones who really know all of the truth. We not gonna know it. Even when they present it to the courts, they still gonna play it in their favor. We're not gonna know all the truth. So for us to continue to tear each other down about this situation is absolutely ridiculous. Yes, we should protect the black woman. Yes, we should protect the black man. But this constant thing of each other just tearing each other down is absolutely ridiculous.
I think that, I could agree to a certain extent that, just specifically speaking about Megan's situation, that, yeah, black women are the least protected, person. But I think that Megan, my personal opinion is, it just added to the fact, her persona added to that.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it had been Beyonce or Rihanna or something like that, it would have been handled differently. Like, people would have been more supportive. You would have been having probably all different type of races of women. Like, you got to stop abuse against women. This is not right. Women empowerment or whatever. Unfortunately, and that's because Beyonce has a cleaner image. So that contributed to it. Not only the fact that she's a black woman, so you already gonna like get kind of like a lesser value placed on you because you're a black woman. But when you add to that fact that you're a black woman and you present yourself in this light, again, not saying that makes it right. Be who you be. You can be whatever you want. That's who she is. That's the type of person she like. We shouldn't judge her on it. But that just kind of like added to it, because now it's like, oh, you black and you kind of like, hood or ratchet. So that's a lot of, I personally think that has a lot to do with it, because I just truly believe if this had been somebody else with a cleaner image, you still gonna have some black women that's gonna be like, tearing each other down, but it wouldn't be this bad. It wouldn't be this bad.
I hope that's not the case. I wish us as people would be able to separate someone's persona and them. I wish we could separate that and not look at people in that light, because even myself, like, if I see somebody on the street and I notice a thug and he just got shot, like he just somebody came and shot him, I'm still gonna be like, dang, you just shot buddy. Like, I'm not even gonna be like, oh, he a thug, he deserves to get shot.
We gotta look at people as people.
Yeah, like, I don't understand that. So that's probably another thing that needs to be done, is like separate people from what they're doing, and realize that they're just people.
I have nothing more to add. Just I just think, like I said, like, right now I just keep saying allegedly because it's alleged. No one has said if it did or didn't happen. But I think, like you said, if she's saying that it happens, I'm not gonna comment either way and say that it did happen to you or that you lying. For one, I wasn't there, and for two, it could have happened. Like, you take that person for what they say until it's proven otherwise. And it's not for her. And if it did really happen, then there is a lot of bad comments that's been floating around. So I'm sure it makes her feel bad. Again, just learn, we gotta separate people. Like, when people take off, their entertainer name and all the fame and fortune and glitz and stuff, they go home, they bleed the same as we do, they cry just like we do, they have the same emotions that we have. Like you gotta like understand that. At the same time, and this one may get some backlash, but it's just my opinion, when you and again, I'm not saying that it makes it right, but I'm just saying we do have to look at this though. When you present yourself in a certain way, if you choose to do that, that's your choice, but you got to be able to deal with the consequences that come with how you present yourself. Like, that's just my opinion.
I just feel like it should be separated. I don't like all the backlash that she got. I think that I have to like kind of bring up is Tory Lanez keep mentioning how you get shot in both your feet and you don't hit, like, no tendons get hit or no bone or nothing. It could be something as simple as a blessing. It wasn't meant for her to get, a bone to be hit. It wasn't meant for a tendon to get hit. It could be something as simple as that. So for that to be your constant excuse is absolutely annoying, in my opinion. I see a lot of people posting that and saying that, like, oh, no bones or nothing was hit. It could have been a blessing that she didn't get hit in the bone. Like, y'all don't hear that often. Like, oh, I got shot and it was only 2 inches away from my heart. Things like that happens. How you get shot in the chest and you ain't die? How you get shot in the head and you ain't die? It's called a blessing. Like, that could have just been her blessing in that moment. Yeah, and I just don't like that he's not saying, like, yeah, I did it, or no, I didn't do it. So that's why it keeps making me think, like, maybe you did do it. And if you didn't do it, who did? Are you going to ever come out with that, or are you just going to continue to ride this wave of just going around the story? He seems very narcissistic, in my opinion, based upon me listening to the lies, and this is just my opinion. He seems very narcissistic about how he's running around the story. Like, he never answers if he actually did it. He's just always running around the story. Or
it's gonna be part of his attorney though. So like, he has an attorney, so they're telling him.
That's true, but that's in court. I'm talking about what's right, on his live.
But he can't say it on his live though. Like, if he's smart, that's anybody. If I did a crime and I'm trying to beat it, especially if I'm looking at 22 years, I'm not going to say it on my live because that's going to be held against me. And I'm going to have an attorney in my corner. So somebody is in his corner. That's why I said, like, he worded his stuff very specific, where somebody's saying, like, yeah, I would say this or don't say that or whatever. Because at this point, anything that he say, anything that she say, can be used against them. So if I was them, I'm just not gonna say nothing.
Yeah, that's my thing. Like, at this point, say
anything. Like, even when
don't say nothing.
TMZ was like the first to like release it or whatever, I wouldn't have even commented, and they was like completely wrong. I wouldn't have commented at all. I would have just left it. Or my one comment would have been like, everybody that was there are aware of the events that took place, and it'll be handled privately.
You should just be quiet and let the courts handle it. What you got to say should be in court and court only. And then once they come out with the verdict, that's when you can, pretty much tell your true story of what occurred. But, like, you just keep giving your fans the runaround. It's absolutely ridiculous in my head. Just be quiet.
This is just taking up way too much bandwidth for me, like, honestly. Like, I just don't care. But, I mean, can't y'all, like, take this time, the court and all of that, settle this outside of court, use that court time to prosecute some people that's not getting prosecuted for killing black folks?